Okay, so I'm going to show you real quick how to make this crossing cables stitch, making sure that it's all the right stitch count for this crossing cable slouch beanie. It is the same stitch for the cowl, but this is the beanie. This is a little bit longer here. And just for the point of an example, I'm using the Super Saver, Red Heart Super Saver. It's in raspberry and the J hook. So here I have my size J hook. Let's see, there it is, 6 millimeter. And I've already done the beginning chain and single crochet, which is row 1, and then I've already done a row 2 and 3 just to kind of get it started. And I'm going to go back with the row 2 repeat. So right here where I'm starting, I have just finished row 3, and from here we do a chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we turn. And we're going to skip a stitch. I'm going to just move that out of the way a little bit so you can see a little better here. We're going to skip the first stitch, which is this one right here, and that's the one we're going to skip. And we're going to yarn over, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then this is the crossing over stitch at this point. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to go backwards to that stitch that we skipped, which is this one right here. We're going to go backwards over those other 3 and go in and yarn over and pull that stitch back up. And we're going across those 3 double crochets that we just did. And now we're going to double crochet to finish that stitch off. So you can see there that that has crossed over, and it crosses over on the back as well, so that it does go both ways. And that first crossing cable stitch is done. And now we're going to skip the next stitch, which is this one right here. We're going to skip that one, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to do the crossing cable stitch again. So we're going to yarn over, cross over the front, and go into that stitch that we skipped, yarn over and bring it back through, and bring it through 2 stitches there, and then 2 through 2 more, and we've done another cable stitch. And so this is what you're doing all the way across. You're skipping this one here, and you're going to do 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to yarn over and cross over. And this is what's going to be the stitch that goes all the way across. Whoops. Go back through and catch that. And so in the end, when you've gotten this all the way done, there should be 61 stitches all the way across, because when you get to the end, after your last cable stitch, you'll do 1 last double crochet in that last stitch. And so the count is 61 stitches altogether, and it started with 62 chains, and then when you're doing these stitches, it's a 61 count. So this is how you do the crossing cables stitch. What's really nice about this stitch is it is reversible, like with the cowl. When you're making the cowl, it technically can go either way. There is, of course, the joining line, so I do have you turn it inside out when you're making the cowl. For the beanie, the same thing, because once you've come to the top and finished all of your cables here, you're going to join the beanie together, and then I do have you turn it inside out just so you don't see that joining line. But technically the cable can go either way. I'm just working my way across at this point in time to be able to get to that last stitch and show you that you're double crocheting into the very last stitch here. I'm going to cross over here in just a minute, all the way across, pull it through, and stitch. And so that's the crossing cable stitch, just so that you can have a reference for how to do this stitch as you're working your way through either the cowl or the beanie.